Veterans Affairs Subcommittee on Economic Opportunity hearing on the Transition Assistance Program will come to order. It's an honor and a privilege for me to be here with you today. I would like to thank our service members and veterans and their families in particular, and everyone in attendance this morning. I would also like to thank the distinguished ranking member, Mr. John Bozeman of Arkansas, for joining us here in Rapid City. Like other states across the country, South Dakota has seen many of its service members activated in support of operations in Iraq and Afghanistan. Over 2/3 of the South Dakota Air National Guard's 1,012 members have actively supported the global war on terror since the September 11th attacks on the United States, either at home or abroad in 15 different countries. In addition, since the terrorist attacks on America, the South Dakota Army National Guard has mobilized more than 3,200 soldiers. Also, the airmen and women from Ellsworth Air Force Base have been supporting missions in the Middle East since September 11th in Operations Iraqi Freedom and Enduring Freedom, including the 200 service members that have been deployed, as well as many others deployed in Southwest Asia. Many of our brave servicemen and women in South Dakota and across the country are returning in need of health care, employment, housing, educational, and other services. They deserve our best efforts in providing the resources to ensure a seamless transition from military service to civilian life. On June 19th of 2006, the Subcommittee on Economic Opportunity, under the leadership of then Chairman Bozeman, held a field hearing nearby at Ellsworth Air Force Base to discuss the Transition Assistance Program and the Montgomery GI Bill. During that hearing, some of our panelists suggested expanding evening classes or online resources to accommodate service members and their spouses' working schedules. Others suggested making the program mandatory for separating service members and expanding existing Montgomery GI Bill benefits. Today, we're gathered here again to re-examine the Transition Assistance Program and the progress we've made from 2 years ago. We will also have the opportunity to learn how the program is assisting our veterans in a seamless transition into employment and community life. As the subcommittee has taken testimony in Washington, D.C. and elsewhere across the country, we have learned when and where transition assistance is most effective, how invaluable family support readiness groups are to service members and their families, how National Guard leaders have worked to establish programs to assist families during deployment and to ease the transition home following deployment for their members, and how more recent mobilization patterns, often using smaller reserve or guard detachments, pose unique challenges. As many of you know, the Transition Assistance Program was established to meet the needs of separating service members during their period of readjustment into civilian life. The program offers job search assistance and related services, such as workshops on resume writing, interview process, labor market overviews, personal appraisal, and VA benefits. The program seeks to provide veterans with the skills and services needed to transition into the workforce. During my time in office, I've had the opportunity to meet with many local government officials and veterans here in South Dakota. In addition, this subcommittee has received many recommendations from government and military officials, veteran service organizations, and concerned citizens from across the country. I'm glad to note that we have succeeded in making progress for our service members and veterans this Congress. For example, included in the final version of the National Defense Authorization Act of 2008, we were able to gain bipartisan support for language that would allow mobilized members of the reserve forces to use their Reserve Educational Assistance Program, also known as REAP benefits, for 10 years after they separate from the Guard or Reserve. Furthermore, we made progress in passing the Post-9/11 Veterans Educational Assistance Act that was recently enacted into law. This act will enable most veterans to attend a public four-year college or university with benefits covering full tuition. It also provides a housing stipend and helps pay for the cost of books and other expenses associated with attending school. Many of their dependents may also be eligible to receive these benefits if the service member meets certain enlistment requirements for transferability. While this progress is long overdue, we must remain committed to reviewing all benefits and the oversight necessary to ensure the effective administration of those benefits to help meet the needs of our service members and veterans. Glad to see some of our panelists here today who were with us 2 years ago. We hope to hear more from all our panelists with regard to how the Transition Assistance Program can better serve our veterans. I look forward to working with Ranking Member Bozeman and other members of our subcommittee to ensure that our service members and veterans are provided proper benefits to help them succeed in life after the military. The men and women who serve our nation honorably deserve and should receive the best our country has to offer. I now recognize Mr. Bozeman for any opening statements he may have. Thank you, Mr. Bozeman, and it's nice to have you back here in South Dakota. We will be in Arkansas later in the summer, having a field hearing for the subcommittee there. And as Mr. Bozeman mentioned in his opening statements, it's a bipartisan committee and one in which we're squarely focused on the needs of our service members in a bipartisan way, and the importance of getting out of Washington and traveling to not only our districts, but districts of our colleagues to hear from service members and local and state officials who have been working hard in partnership with federal agencies to ensure that our service members and veterans have the full scope of benefits and programs to which they're entitled.